first ever Listy Friday! So for my first ever list on the first ever Listy Friday, I'm going to cover my top 10 irrational fears. There's a very small handful of things I'm scared of, and that's legitimate fears, but then there's a couple little things in the background that I'm kind of paranoid about that really don't have a reason for them. And to kick it off, this is an irrational fear and one of my weird fears, but it is my number one all-time fears. I'm scared to death of people puking / myself puking, like to the point where I'll cry if somebody pukes, and I don't cry really easy, but yeah, like I'll cry if somebody pukes, or if you're here and you're sick, I'm up at somebody else's house, or if I have to be in the same house with you and you have the stomach flu or whatever, I'll hide off in a different room, and if I have to come out, I'll disinfect everything. I'll go to great length if you're sick, to avoid you. I'm scared I have a stutter. Not like that I stutter all the time, but I worry that sometimes I have a stutter. I also worry that I'm retarded. Not oh my god, that's so retarded, but literally the IQ of a retard. I'm kind of paranoid. Like I said, it doesn't rule my life. I don't go to the hospital for every little thing, but it's kind of like a scared, paranoid thing in the back of my head about medical stuff. I'm scared I have tumors all the time, and I worry that one leg's shorter than the other. And then ever since I was 10, I'm worried I'm pregnant all the time. I refused to watch that fucking show. I didn't know I was pregnant. It scared the shit out of me, man. But anyway, yeah. What else? I worry. Oh, right now I've had phlegm in my throat for 2 days, going on 3 days, and I worry it's that one disease that makes your lungs fill up with fluid. And I've been really getting paranoid, actually getting paranoid about my moles. I've always had a lot of moles on my back, but I'm getting more and more lately, and I worry that I might, when I go to the doctor, I might actually have to check that out. And there's reason 5? 4? I don't know. This is reason 5, but raccoons and groundhogs. Something creepy about it, man. Whenever I'm outside and I see one really far off, I edge away from it, and it's scary. I think it's because in the back of my mind it's rabies, but yeah. Reason 6, I'm pretty sure. When Cody drinks, I get really paranoid about him puking in his sleep. Well, puking in general, and then I get worried about him puking in his sleep and choking on it and dying. I also get worried about him suddenly, spontaneously not breathing anymore while he's sleeping. The point where I stayed up all night just watching him, making sure he didn't puke and or stop breathing while he's asleep. Last year, side note, Cody's not an alcoholic. He just sometimes, go out and party if we're in PA. He's not an alcoholic. 7. People choking on gum while they're asleep. This isn't actually an irrational fear, because when my sister was 5, or maybe even younger, we were on our way home for Easter, and she fell asleep with gum in her mouth, and it got down in her throat, and she started choking. My mom had to reach down and pull it out. It was really gross, but yeah, so now I'm extra paranoid about people who I know chew gum, falling asleep with gum in their mouths. The thing is, zombies in real life. I'm not scared of zombie movies. I'm out in public or whatever, I think, where could I hide if there's a zombie attack? Or right after I watched Dawn of the Dead back when it was first. Dawn of the Dead? Yeah. Dawn of the Dead. The mall, and the people get trapped in the mall with the zombies. Anyway, the fast zombies. That's the ones that freak me out. The fast ones that are fast zombies in real life. When we went to see Dawn of the Dead, we were coming back and we saw it at midnight, and I lived up in the mountains back when I watched it, and my aunt was driving me home in the middle of the night, and I was going back to a house by myself, and I did not sleep because I was afraid I'd see zombies out in the woods. Number 9, getting blood drawn. This isn't exactly an irrational fear either. It's kind of based off of because of the fact one time I was getting blood drawn for something, and I felt like I was going to throw up, and then I saw spots, and next thing I know, I'm laying on the ground with 4 nurses around me arguing with my mom. And that feeling freaked me out so bad that now whenever I have to get blood drawn, I cry. So no getting blood drawn for charity for me. blood drives are on their own for volunteers, because I'm not one of them. It's hard to think of a 10th one, but I don't want to end the list on like an odd number, like 9 or 7 or something. I mean, I know it's reason 10 now, but, so I think people, when they fall asleep around me, them not, like, them falling asleep and not breathing while they're asleep in general, not just like when Cody drinks. Because, like, if I'm sleeping over at a friend's house or whatever, sometimes before I go to sleep, I'll, like, watch them and make sure they're breathing. Or, like, if I'm at home with my mom, I'll, like, go over and, like, gently put my head on her back to make sure she's still breathing. I don't know why. Because it's an irrational fear, so that's my top 10 irrational fears. So, yeah, go ahead, and if any of you care to leave comments, which most of you don't, go ahead and put your irrational fears down at the bottom. And if you guys have any ideas for lists I should do on Fridays, even though I already know what I'm doing for the list for next Friday. But yeah, if you guys have any ideas for lists, or if you have, like, irrational fears of your own, go ahead and put them in the comments. I don't read them because nobody puts any in there anyway, except for Leslie and Sam. But yeah, thanks for watching. That's not true, I do read comments. Usually, a lot more than once.